Okay, today we'll discuss theories of motivation. On the theory first of motivation, first we'll see theory stated by Maslow. That is Maslow's need hierarchy theory, we call it as. Okay, according to Maslow, the needs are categorized into physiological needs. They are called as primary needs, and secondary needs are kept under the category of secondary needs: safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. We'll discuss in detail about these. Probably the most widely known theory of individual need and motivations comes from Abraham Maslow, who was a clinical psychologist in USA. Okay, Maslow. He suggested that every individual has a complex set of exceptionally strong needs, and the behavior of an individual at a particular moment is usually determined by his strongest need. According to psychologists, human needs have a certain priority. As the more basic needs are satisfied, the individual seeks to satisfy the higher needs. If the basic needs are not satisfied, the efforts to satisfy the higher needs will be postponed. Okay, first we strive to fulfill our primary needs, right? That's why if primary needs are not satisfied, that means physiological needs are not satisfied, we don't make any effort to fulfill our higher needs, that secondary needs. Maslow stated that people have 5 basic levels of needs, which they tend to satisfy in a hierarchical fashion, and he proposed that human needs can be arranged in a particular order from the lowest level need to the highest level need. Right? The 5 needs are: one is physiological needs. Physiological needs, they are kept in a staircase manner. They are arranged in a stepwise manner. First step, without climbing the first step, you can't go to the last step. Okay, in a sequential order, that was correct. Physiological needs, until unless physiological needs are fulfilled, you know, okay, you don't go for secondary needs, that is safety needs. If unless until safety needs are not fulfilled, you don't go for social needs. Unless until social needs are not fulfilled, you don't go for esteem needs. Unless until esteem needs are not fulfilled, you don't go for self-actualization needs. Okay, that is the sequence, that is the trend. He has arranged in a staircase manner. First, we will discuss physiological needs. Physiological needs are taken at the first time, a starting step for motivation theory, because there are the strongest needs until they are reasonably satisfied. There are the basic bodily needs comprising of hunger, thirst, shelter, clothing, air, and other necessities of life. Okay, which we cannot desire, which we cannot deny. Human beings first try to acquire these basic necessities of life. Only then they tend to move to the second level of needs. If your hunger is not fulfilled, okay, you don't get energy. If your thirst is not fulfilled, you don't have thoughts. Okay, then if hunger and thirst is fulfilled, you search for shelter. Okay, if you don't have shelter, your life in a threatening position. You don't have security, right? You don't have safety net. Then if you get the shelter, these are primary. You want to reside in the shelter to secure yourself from rain and wind and sunrise. You need a shelter. Okay, and clothing in this modern civilized economy, you must wear the clothes. Okay, without clothes, that means bare body, you can't move in this society. Clothing is must. Okay, After clothing only, you will go for secondary needs. Air is nature's free gift. Okay. If you want to breathe, exhale and inhale, you must require air which contains oxygen. Pure air we call it as. Right? These are minimum basics. We call them as necessities of life. If these are fulfilled, first we'll try to acquire. Okay, after these we will go to the second level of needs. And another is safety needs. Okay, secondary level of need, that is safety need. In the hierarchy of needs that is given by Maslow, the second needs are satisfied. Safety and security needs we call them as. Actually, in some interpretations, the Maslow hierarchy of needs are arranged in a pyramid shape, where from the bottom of the pyramid you have the first step, and you need to track to the peak of the pyramid. Okay, if primary needs are fulfilled, you go for secondary needs in such a manner, right? In the hierarchy of needs, the second needs are satisfied. Okay, will be satisfied if you have already satisfied the primary needs. What are the secondary needs? Safety and security needs. We call them as safety and security needs. Once a reasonable level of physiological needs are satisfied, what is reasonable? It is subjective thing. Okay, differ from person to person. That's why I am mentioning that once reasonable level. Okay, all are may not get satisfied with the same amount of the factor which is going to satisfy them. Hence, I am using this reasonable level of physiological needs that are satisfied. Reasonable is subjective thing. It varies from person to person. It differs from person to person. Right? The human beings tend to satisfy the second level of needs which are called security and stability. We can say safety. In today's civilized society, a person is usually protected from physical danger or threat or violence. So that safety and security needs well upon economic and job security, security of sources of income provision for old age, generally we use pension, insurance against risk will comes under the safety and security, medical insurance and other protective measures to safeguard the satisfaction of physiological needs in the future, which may be unpredictable. Right? Unforeseen, unpredictable needs. Okay, we need to get protected from unpredictable adverse effects. Okay, for that purpose, we are making insurance, we are taking insurance, right? We are try to get a job that is secure job, right? These comes under the safety needs. And then social needs. Once the second level is satisfied, the human being is strive to satisfy their social needs. Man is a social animal. He wants to belong to the social group where his emotional needs for love, affection, warmth and friendship are satisfied. What are social needs? Man is not in a position to continue his sedentary life. Okay, he is a social animal. He wants to belong to a social group. He wants to be a part of the social group. He wants to be recognized by that social group. He wants to lead the social group. He wants to be a member of that social group. Right? He wants to share his emotions. He wants to share his love and affection with that particular group. He wants to have warmth with that group. He wants to have friendship relations with that group, and those will satisfy you. Social needs can be satisfied by being in the company of friends, relatives. Okay, social needs. How could you get satisfied these social needs? If you work in a company, there are a group of people who become friends to him, Sometimes may relatives are also there in the working group, or other groups such as working groups, those who call them as colleagues, and some voluntary groups also work with them in that particular organization, right? And if one's social needs are fulfilled, the fourth step in the hierarchy of needs is ego, or we call them as self-esteem needs, which are concerned with the self-respect. Okay, social needs are fulfilled, you will try to track the another step. Okay, you will climb the another staircase, that is esteem needs. This is four in the hierarchy of needs is go or self-esteem needs, which are concerned with the self-respect, self-confidence, and recognition, appreciation, applause, prestige, power, and control. Okay, unless until the primary needs and the three secondary needs which we have discussed above, okay, not fulfilled, we don't go for fulfilling the esteem needs, where you have come across to, okay, different needs. Primary needs, your physiological needs are fulfilled, your safety needs are fulfilled, your social needs are fulfilled, and you want to be recognized by the society, their recognition you want. Okay, you want self-respect. First you will, okay, you have achieved, you will have a pat on your back and you say that, yeah, okay, self-respect and self-confidence impress, and this will want to recognize by the society, that is group under which you are working, and you want to be appreciated by the group, and you want applause from the group, prestige you want, okay, that will assign to you, and power and control you want to have. This is what we call it as esteem need. These needs give the individual a sense of self-worth and ego satisfaction, right? And then the in the apex of the pyramid, at top of the pyramid, you will have self-actualization needs. At the top of the hierarchy is the need for self-actualization, or the need for fulfillment. What a person considers to be the mission in his life, after all his other and are fulfilled. A man has the desire for personal achievement. He wants to do something which is changing, and since the challenge gives him enough push and initiative to work, it is beneficial to him and the society. Right? The sense of achievement gives him sense of psychological satisfaction. Right? Sense of psychological satisfaction. Thus, Maslow suggested a few points in this regard. There are 5 levels of needs, okay, that will be embedded in the human beings. All these needs are arranged in a hierarchy of manner, okay, and a satisfied is no longer a need for him. Once a need or certain order of need is satisfied, it causes to be a motivating factor. It causes to be a motivating factor. One need or a certain order of need is satisfied. What you will do? You will try to fulfill another need. As we have already discussed in the business economics, that, okay, needs, wants of the human being are unlimited. If one need is fulfilled, another want triggers out. In order to satisfy that unfulfilled need, he will be motivated. That's why once one need is satisfied, it ceases to be a motivating factor, where the motivation is stops for that need, and you will be go for another. Once one level of need is satisfied, the next level of need will emerge as the depressed needs seeking to be satisfied. Okay, they are depressed by you, and they will come out. Okay, once first step level of need is satisfied, you will, as you move to the second level of need, that is okay, motivate you to get fulfilled. The physiological and security needs are finite, but the need of higher order are infinite and are likely to be dominant in persons at high level in the organization. Right? Maslow suggests that various levels are independent and overlapping. These levels are independent and overlapping at the same time. Each higher level emerging before the lower level need has been completely satisfied. If uncompleted lower level need does not move you to higher level need. Even though a need is satisfied, it will influence behavior because of independent and overlapping characteristics of needs only. It will, okay, interdependent. And we'll see what is the critical analysis of Maslow theory. We'll analyze critically. Maslow theory is widely appreciated because of its pros. It helps the manager in understanding how to motivate the employees. A manager can use this as a tool to motivate his employees. This theory is very simple and common and easily understandable. Okay, anyone if you go through this, okay, theory, he could understand easily. Very simple because and common also, easily understandable. It accounts for both interpersonal and intrapersonal variations in human behavior. Okay, this theory is dynamic because it presents motivation as a changing force, changing from one level of needs to the another level. Right? But despite the appreciation of this theory, it has been criticized by many ways and different grounds. We generally call them as demerits. Okay, of course, you will find for everything pros and cons. We are talking about now, of course, we have discussed the pros, okay, pros, and now we are going to discuss about the cons that are pertaining to Maslow theory, okay, need hierarchy theory. What does it? Research have proved that there is lack of hierarchical structure of needs and suggested by Maslow, as suggested by Maslow. What the Maslow said, the needs are arranged in a hierarchical manner, in a pyramid manner. Actually, the research have proved that it was not so. Though every individual have some ordering for his need satisfaction. Of course, every individual has his own order, okay, systematic order to fulfill his need satisfaction. Some people may be deprived of their lower level needs, but may strive for self-actualization needs. Some people may be deprived of their lower level needs, but may strive for self-actualization needs. The example of Mahatma Gandhi is the one of the most important we can point out here. There are always some people in whom the need of self-esteem is more prominent than social needs. Okay, if you see, after fulfilling his physiological needs, Mahatma Gandhi wants to be recognized by this society, this nation, and that's why only he became the father of India. Right? Another problem is that there is a lack of direct cause and effect relationship between the need and behavior. There is no direct, right, cause and effect relationship between the need. So behavior. One particular need may cause different types of behavior in different persons. On the other hand, as a particular individual behavior may be due to the result of different needs. Thus, need hierarchy is not as simple as it could be appear. Right? That is another problem. Need and satisfaction of needs is a physiological feeling. Sometimes even the person may not be aware about his own needs. How can the manager come to know about these needs? Okay, the need satisfaction of need is a physiological feeling. Sometimes even the person may not be aware about his own needs. Okay, how can the manager come to know about these needs? Then how do you motivate the people for the same? This is one another problem. Some people say that hierarchy of needs simply does not exist. No way of existing the hierarchy of needs. Some people argue that. At all levels, needs are present at okay given time. An individual motivated by self-actualization needs cannot afford to forget his food. But this criticism is solved by Maslow by saying that needs are interdependent and overlapping. Okay, what he has said. Another problem is another problem with this theory of Maslow hierarchy of needs is the operationalization of some of his concepts, which makes it difficult for the researchers to test his theory. For instance, how does one measure its self-actualization? Is there any measuring tool to measure that self? No, we don't have. Okay, despite its drawbacks, Maslow's theory offers managers a good handle of understanding the motives or needs of individuals and how to motivate organizational members. Okay, in spite of these drawbacks, we use this as a tool. Okay, managers will use it as a tool to motivate individuals, that means employees in the organization. Now we'll discuss Adler's ERG theory. Okay, Clayton Alder formulated Maslow need hierarchy theory. He has reformulated Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Clayton Alderfer, his name is. We call it as the ERG need theory developed by Alderfer, condenses the 5 needs given by Maslow into 3 needs. Okay. He has contracted the theory of Maslow. The ERG word is derived from the first letters of each of these levels of needs. Right? The abbreviation ERG is coined from the first letters of needs that are stated by Alderfer. That's why we call it as Alderfer's ERG theory. First E indicates that existence needs. The existence needs combine the physiological and safety needs of Maslow model. The existence needs are satisfied by material incentives. Right? These needs include the basic survival needs of human beings, needs for physical and physiological safety from threats to people's existence and well-being. See, existence. In Telugu we call it as Manuguda anta. Manuguda avasaralu. The existence needs combine the physiological and safety needs of Maslow model. Okay, unless until you ate something, you don't get energy. Okay, if you don't eat, if you don't fulfill your thirsty, don't drink. Okay, if you don't fulfill your hunger, thirsty, and sleep, okay, urge for sex, you are in unrest and you will leave from this world. The existential needs are satisfied by material incentives. The needs include basic survival needs of human beings, needs for physical and psychological safety from threats to people's existence and well-being. That's why Alderfer calls them as existential needs. As combined, okay, safety and security needs with basic needs of Maslow. Relatedness needs. The related needs include Maslow's social and esteem needs, which are derived from other people. These include relationships with other people we care about. These needs are satisfied by personal relationships and social interactions. We generally call them as related needs. What? He has combined social and esteem needs of the Maslow hierarchy needs stated by Maslow, which derive from other people. You will derive social needs, you will get social satisfaction, esteem satisfaction with this from others. These include relationship with other people we care about. Right? These needs are satisfied by personal relationship and social interactions. And then growth needs. These needs are similar to Maslow's self-actualization needs. This need involves persons making creative efforts to achieve full potential in the existing environment. Okay. Growth need, what it tells us. This need involves person making creative efforts to achieve full potential in the existing environment. He want to prove himself in the existing environment. That's why he has all his efforts to achieve this. These needs will be satisfied only if individual involves himself in activities of the organization and searches for new challenges, opportunities. One who is competent, one who is challenging will try to satisfy these needs. Other for revised Maslow's theory in other ways also. We'll see how. Maslow need hierarchy theory follows a rigid step-like progression. Okay, Maslow's need hierarchy theory follows a rigid step-like progression. If one step you have fulfilled, you go for other steps. They are rigid, they are not in a continuum. The ERG theory, on the other hand, assumes that more than one need may be operative at the same time. But whereas primary needs are, after fulfilling the primary needs, you will go to the secondary needs in case of Maslow. But it was not so in ERG theory, right? Where Alderfer assumes that one need may be operative at the same time. More than one need you can see. Okay, it is not necessary that the existence needs must be satisfied first. Only then he can move on to related needs or to growth needs. A person may be working on his growth needs even though his existence needs may be unsatisfied. Right? And another is the ERG theory also improves the Maslow's theory on the ground that a person does not stay at a certain level until that need is satisfied. Maslow was of opinion that a person will move. Maslow was the opinion that a person will move to the next level only if will move to the next level only if the need of the previous level are satisfied. Okay, the ERG theory counters his by saying that when a higher level need is frustrated, the individual's desire to increase a lower level need takes place. For example, if person cannot satisfy his growth oriented needs, he will increase his social interaction or the relatedness if his efforts are frustrated in meeting these needs also. He will move back to existence needs and make ask for more material benefits. Right? We'll see the advantages of ERG theory. The main advantage of ERG theory is Alderfer's ERG theory is more consistent with our knowledge of individual differences among people. Every individual will have different importance for different group of needs depending upon his education, family background and cultural environment. A very qualified person will value the growth needs more than the social needs or even the existence needs. On the other hand, a person who belongs to very poor family will rate the existence needs more important. We'll see it is the difference between that. In the context, ERG theory is more relevant as compared to Maslow's theory, right? And another advantage is that ERG theory takes the strong points of the earlier content theories, earlier content theories, but it is less restrictive and limiting as compared to others. Of course, in spite of advantages that the ERG theory possesses, we have some limitations. We will discuss under the disadvantages. The ERG theory does not offer clear-cut guidelines. This theory says that an individual can satisfy any of the three needs first. But how will we determine which of the three needs is more important to that person? That is not an easy task. And this theory is a new concept as compared to the Maslow theory. All the first research has indicated some degree of support for the theory, but it is too early to pass judgment on overall validity of the theory. Right? In that, with this, I conclude the theory of Aldous CRG theory of motivation. And in the next class, we will discuss another theory, that is Hesburg motivational theory. Okay, thank you.